If you come to Dubai, there are some things you can do that just don't make any sense. 3 decades ago, the city started rebranding itself as a city of the future. Went from this to this, and in the process tried to break the world record for every architectural achievement on the planet. But you know, after all of this, the question still remains, is this city worth the hype? So in this video, I'm gonna go up the highest buildings, swim down to the deepest waters, go indoor snowboarding in the desert, go to the biggest mall and the world's biggest water fountain, drink golden coffee, and I'm gonna let you know if these activities just look cool on video or if they're actually worth the hype. It is a very windy day here in Dubai, and the first spot we're going to today is not accessible by public transport, according to Google Maps at least. So I took the metro line to here, and I think I have to take a Kareem, like a taxi app, to get to the final spot. And this place really is in the middle of nowhere. Like there's like security making sure we're going the right way. So we're outside of Deep Dive Dubai. This is supposed to be the deepest swimming pool in the whole world at 60 meters or like almost 20 stories. And I thought this was just gonna be like a pool in a normal building, you know, but it seems like it's its whole own complex that's like separated from everything else. Just got here and just waiting in this fancy waiting area where they're like looking at my diving certification and stuff and waivers and all that. So they put a little wristband on me at the entrance, and then I came in and looked at the different gear. Then I went into the changing room to get changed into my wetsuit, which keeps you warm. Then I put my stuff up in a locker and went up to the actual pool, and my instructor helped me put my gear on, make sure everything had the right size, make sure I checked the weights and the oxygen and everything was working. Then he explained the layout of the whole pool to me. Okay, we're about to get in the swimming pool, and it's crazy. Like, it doesn't have any of the conditions you have in the ocean. So there's like no salt water, no current. Visibility is like you can see all the way to the bottom. So guiding me on this expedition is Nevjan. He's gonna make sure I don't die or anything. Then I entered the pool, walking in from the shallow end, and entered the world of Deep Dive Dubai. Okay, so there were a lot more activities in this pool than I thought there would be. First of all, there's this like newspaper that you could read underwater. Then there's this foosball table. This was really cool and really fun, and you can actually play foosball. And I started playing with my instructor, and the game got pretty competitive with both of us trying to score our first goal underwater. Then there was this like trophy thing that I don't know what that was for. Then there was like an arcade video game that I got excited about, but then I realized that's just for show. You can't actually play that underwater. Yeah, this part was funny. I was trying to go through these like routes, and my cylinder got stuck for a second, so I had to like back out and then like go back in. This was one of my favorite parts. You could play basketball underwater, but once I shot the basketball, I realized that the ball doesn't really move the way it does on land. So I grew up a big NBA fan watching NBA dunk contests, so this was my chance to do the stuff that I couldn't do over water. So I tried a windmill dunk and realized the ball's still hard to hold on to, same as above land. Then I finally got to do a fancy dunk and felt like Michael Jordan for a second. Then I checked the mirror to make sure my hair was completely okay. Then there was like this bicycle, which basically became like an exercise bike, which I tried pedaling on for a second. Then there was like this bathtub I sat on. Then there was a shopping cart that you could push around. Okay, this part was really cool. There was like a pool table where you could actually play pool. And this stick, I swear, was like 10 pounds or 5 kilograms. So I tried to play this for a while, and I kept failing because, you know, the ball again doesn't move the same way it does on land. So eventually I just like put one of the balls in with my stick, and I felt a little bit satisfied that I could put something in, you know. Then we took a break from my instructor to check if everything was okay, because you can't really talk underwater, you know, you need to come above. But this spot is like 5 meters underneath the water. So then I got into this fake car and sat on motorcycle number 1, then got on fake motorcycle number 2, then got on this sports bike, motorcycle number 3. Then we're trying to play chess, but the whole time I was just trying to, you know, rearrange the pieces so we could play a game of chess. But by the time I finished rearranging, my instructor just left, so we never really got to play a game. Then I just sat on the sledge and took in the view for the last time. It's funny, I wasn't cold at all in the water, but now I'm like shivering with this bathrobe on. Forgot to bring a towel and a bag to carry my wetsuit. But I'm still like shivering from the cold. There's like a pimple on my face that just exploded from the mask. I don't know if I should be filming in here.
chemicals in this water is not good for my hair.
I want to interrupt this video to make a really quick announcement. When you're going through something difficult in life, it's really good to have a professional that you can talk to, or just someone who knows what they're talking about and can help you deal with the circumstance around you. I've had some major life events happening in the last couple of months that I'll talk about at the end of the video. But in the past, when I was having a tough time with anxiety and everything, I found therapy to be a very good way to deal with those times. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp makes starting therapy a lot less intimidating and easier for a lot of people. If you're not comfortable with face-to-face, BetterHelp allows you to have therapy through a phone call, through video chat, or just messaging, whatever is the most comfortable thing for you. You can follow the link in the video description, which is betterhelp.com/NADIR to find out more. BetterHelp can match you with one of the 30,000 therapists that are in their network based on your preferences, your needs, or your location, which gives you access to a wide range of expertise. So you can start with just filling out a questionnaire, and usually you're matched with a therapist within just 48 hours. And if you feel like your therapist is not a great fit for you, you can always switch to someone else that works better for you, because it is so important to get the right person when you're seeking a therapist. Now back to the video.
Out of the facilities finally, and I guess I can talk openly about it. Not gonna lie, that was like better than what I expected it to be, because I was like, oh, it's a pool, what are you gonna do? But then there were like all these things like playing basketball and playing foosball, which got pretty intense by the way, and just like a lot of other stuff, which made it really fun. And you know, scuba diving is fun in general, but what kind of makes it annoying, for me at least, is like everything before and after it, and there's like just so much time wasted with like following protocol and getting to the spot, which I guess makes it part of the experience and makes it a bonding experience. So I'd say experience-wise, I'd rate that 8 out of 10. Price-wise, well, I got this for free. If I had to pay for it, that would have been 1,200 dirham, which I think is like close to $350, $400. And you could go to like Thailand or like Honduras and a couple of other places, and you could get certified for under $350. So I'd like give that like 5 out of 10 price-wise maybe, because it could be worse. It is Dubai, everything is expensive, and I just don't like spending a lot of money. So it's still like a 5 out of 10. Alright, now I'm gonna catch a taxi and go to the next spot. So today, for the next activity, I'm gonna go snowboarding in the middle of a desert in a mall.
So obviously Dubai is in the middle of the desert, but in this desert they built an indoor ski resort, or an indoor snowboarding resort, where you can actually go in and the temperature is like 0 degrees and there's actual snow, and you can go on there and you can snow or skiboard. So I tried snowboarding for the second time in my life in there.
I was running really late when I came here because I was at the TikTok regional headquarters. Got invited there by some people that work there because I've been like trending on TikTok in Bangladesh recently. But yeah, I came in and I was running so late, man. I arrived here like 10 minutes before my lesson. I was supposed to arrive like 30 minutes ago because my taxi driver took the wrong turn and then dropped me off at the wrong place. So it's inside the Mall of the Emirates, which is like a massive mall. So even after I came here, I had to like find this place. Eventually I found it, and this Filipino lady, she was nice, but she was also like mad at me for being so late. She was helping me out and was like, hurry up, come on.
Sir, hurry up. You know, sir, if you're late 10 minutes, you cannot go inside. That's why
I barely made it, because if I was more than 10 minutes late, I would have missed the lesson, because I would have missed the introductory part. So she was really helping me out in a way. I rented out a locker for I think $15, $20 or something like that, which I never even used because I had no time. I had my phone in this thing the whole time. I did not even touch my phone once. But man, that was so cool. So I got a snowboard lesson because I don't know how to snowboard. The only time I'd snowboarded before was in Iceland more than 11 years ago in 2013 when I was there. Yeah, I was on my ass the whole time I was in Iceland. This time we spent some time like just getting the basics done, got lessons from a proper instructor, then my friends just telling me what to do. First we're just like, you know, getting used to putting the thing on and off with 5 other people, and then we're basically just learning to move a little bit, like hop with it, drag the snowboard from side to side, and then we started going up this like escalator for like someone standing on a board, and we got on there.
So basically for the last 45 minutes we've been going up this thing and then going down and falling and just getting used to it, baby steps.
But then like finally at the end we're allowed to do a little bit more, and the instructor was super nice and he like filmed me falling and doing whatever I could on my first day.
And look up, look where you're going.
But that was really fun. Really fun. Like that was more of a workout honestly. When I came back and like took my helmet off, my hair was just like completely drenched. So much fun, man. I wish I could just come back here and do it again. I was checking the schedule for tomorrow. Looks like they're fully booked, but I would love to like, you know, do this several more times Wish I had the time. I definitely spend more time on a board this time than I did my first time around, because this is after 10 years of doing a lot of surfing and skateboarding, so I know things better now. Experience-wise, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 or even more, because this is honestly so much fun. Really a lot of fun. Price-wise, I'd say it's maybe 8 out of 10, because it's I think like $50 or $60 for just this lesson. I would recommend not paying for a helicopter ride, not going ziplining through Dubai, just take a snowboard lesson here. And thank God the TikTok office at least gave me like free Pringles and coconut water and a bunch of other stuff, which is helping me rehydrate. You know what the shittiest part is? I really needed to pee when I got here. I never got to pee. So I was like in the cold, which makes you want to pee more, I guess. Just having to pee so bad for like the whole time. Man, that was tough. Like, kind of took away the enjoyment a little bit. I was complaining about why it costs $15 to rent a pair of gloves. Apparently they just sell them to you for $15. At least I can take them with me everywhere else in Dubai where I'm gonna need gloves for snow. So it's 8 p.m. and I'm trying to go to the next spot for today, which is supposed to be something very special and something that you can only see in the evening or at night. You know what I should have done is when I got off the metro, I should have just like walked along this indoor walkway that they have that kind of goes through all the traffic or over all the traffic. I decided to get on the street and now I have to like cross a million streets, and it's kind of confusing and hard to navigate because you have to wait for cars and stuff and bikes. I think I'm actually walking on a bike path right now. Anyway, should get there pretty soon, I think in the next few minutes. Okay, right now I'm at the Dubai fountain, right next to the Burj Khalifa over there. It's like in this artificial lake basically, and there's a show every 30 minutes, I think, from 6 p.m. till midnight. It's supposed to be pretty cool. It's like a 300-meter long set of fountains that shoot up water up to like 150 meters or like 450 feet, 45 stories up into the air. It's supposed to be the biggest fountain on earth, and it should be like quite the spectacle. So everyone here is lined up for like, 20-30 minutes to watch the next show. Somehow found a spot. You could like get on one of the boats that you see behind me and sort of like go through the show, but I didn't want to pay for that or like schedule the time because I didn't know exactly when I want to get here, but that cost like $20. Okay, that felt like that lasted like a solid 3 minutes. It honestly started off like really slow. I was like, this is gonna be boring. But then when it started shooting water up, like straight vertically up, that was so cool. I almost forgot to like film for a second and it wasn't in focus. I was just looking at what was going on. It looks a lot like fireworks that shoot up in the sky because it goes up so high, then like slowly comes down. So experience-wise, I mean, it's not the coolest thing you'll ever see, but it's still like pretty good. I'd say like a 6, 7 out of 10 maybe. And price-wise, it's like a 11 out of 10 because this is free. You can just come here and see this for free. So if you're at the Burj Khalifa, make sure you just stay and watch the show because I don't think you'll ever see anything like this again. So the amount of people I'm having to film in the middle of right now is honestly making me a little bit nervous. So for the next spot, tonight, we're gonna go to this place that we're right next to, which is the Dubai Mall, which is one of the largest malls in the world. Why am I going there? It's to show you guys another record-breaking structure, kinda, but I also need to go there because I need to buy some nicer clothes because the last spot that we're gonna go into this video, the very last spot, I'm not even allowed to go in there with the clothes that I have in my backpack for this trip. Man, I haven't owned a dress shirt or a shirt with a collar since I left LA 3 years and 11 months ago, so need to buy something that I'm probably not going to use for another 4 years. Doing a quick little test run of filming in the Dubai Mall. This mall is so big, you can get lost here if you're not really following a plan. And I was just in a Samsonite store basically a second ago because I need to buy some headlocks for my bag because I lost mine on the way here. And then I realized these like little combination locks with the wires cost like $30 here in the Samsonite store. Same thing, if I remember right, cost like $15 or $20 in the US. So behind me, right here, is one of the coolest and most famous parts of this mall, this waterfall. It looks like people are just like diving behind it. There's another one on that side too. And there's this whole ice rink in the middle of the shopping mall. And this is not the only place on earth with that. The Philippines have that. I've never actually gone ice skating in my life. I don't have time right now because I need to buy a collared shirt before it closes and it's already like 9:40 p.m. And I almost got myself some Jordans. Walked into the Jordan showroom and it's not even that expensive here actually. It's like less than $200, like I think $180 for a couple of Jordan ones, which is a pretty good deal, let's say. Okay, so there's a real dinosaur skeleton in the middle of the mall. Was not expecting that. Definitely wasn't expecting that. Okay, I found a Shake Shack in Dubai Mall, and this is the first time I'm gonna have a shake from Shake Shack since the Philippines, which was like literally almost exactly a year ago in Manila. So good. I haven't eaten anything since the evening, so that makes it that much better. Okay, so I needed a collared shirt for tomorrow for the final destination of this video. To get that, I went to H&M, which is where I go to get all my cheap shirts. And they had like 2 shirts that I like, 2 polo shirts in different colors, like a light blue and a light pink one. So I tried both on and had to go with the pink because I have too many light blue shirts right now. And it was only like 75 dirhams, which is something like $20 US. So hopefully I should be good for tomorrow. But my shoes are kind of banged up, so I'm gonna go and see if I can find some better shoes right now too that will hopefully last me for a while. Because I came out of Under Armour with a bag full of stuff, but none of it is what I went to buy, not shoes. I couldn't find the right shoes. But before I tell you what I bought, I met one of my viewers. I met Susil over here from Nepal, and he recognized me from my videos, which is very rare that someone not from Bangladesh. But I think it's happened like once or twice today, and he watched my Nepal videos too, like everything.
Nepal, even your country.
I was like, he doesn't look super Bangladeshi. I was wondering that.
My pleasure. Glad to see you here. You know.
I mean, I'm always happy to see anyone that watches my videos. You watched the Abu Dhabi video.
Abu Dhabi video.
I think that's the one that's kind of going viral right now on YouTube. After that, I saw some shorts with like zippable pockets, which I've been missing for a while, and you need that when you're traveling because your phone flies out, your wallet flies out. It's just hard to find that stuff, like surprisingly hard sometimes. So I found that and I got that. I also found another bum bag, like literally, so this one's from Under Armour. I found the exact same bum bag in a different color. Yeah, and I was like, I need that because this one's not in the best condition anymore. It's become a little bit loose, the strap, and the Under Armour logo has basically completely come off. So now I think I have everything I need, and I need to catch the metro before it stops running in the next 10 minutes, so I need to rush. It's 5:49 a.m. and I just slept for 1 hour today because I have to get to our next spot early in the morning. Otherwise, it's probably gonna get too crowded. Honestly, it might be too crowded right now. The early morning is the best shot I have. And I actually went to bed, I think at like 2 or 3, so I could have technically slept for a few hours, but I was so stressed about not waking up on time and wasting my $50 that I paid for the ticket that I just couldn't sleep really. So honestly, I didn't even sleep for an hour. I was awake an hour ago when I looked at the phone. You know what, I'm not too tired right now, but I'm probably gonna be really tired in a few hours, so might take a taxi back home after that. Let's get on the metro first. Man, I remember when I was first here 20 days ago, I was getting the same metro on my first day, and it felt like such a foreign new place, and I was like, wow, the buildings, the colors. Now it just feels like home. Now I know the route. Now I don't even know which station I'm getting on, where I'm getting off. It's just become very familiar.
The next station is Burj Khalifa, Dubai Mobile.
So the first spot for today is the Burj Khalifa. Finally going there. It's where like every tourist is supposed to go on their first day, I guess, but it took me 20 days, but I'm finally getting there. And the only way to go up there is not from the outside, but like go into the Dubai Mall first and then somehow go up. And it's like a 15-minute walk, I think, from the metro station to where I need to go to get into the Burj Khalifa. So I'm making that walk right now, early in the morning when it's not too crowded. This place can get pretty packed at night. The reason for building this bridge is that whenever it's hot, like really hot in the summer, like 50 degrees Celsius, 125 degrees Fahrenheit, people don't die in the heat. See our destination right in front of me, and we're getting closer.
It's 6:44 right now. I was trying to go at 7 at the earliest spot. I was supposed to be there at 6:45, but this caused a delay because they wanted to delete my footage, and I don't know why. No one even told me I was supposed to not use the camera when I was coming in. I guess I was worrying a bit too much because I was the second person in line for the elevator. So we went inside, went up 100 stories, and finally reached our destination.
Like coming early in the morning paid off. I have this view all to myself. So we're on the 124th floor now. This is called at the top level. There's something called at the top sky, which is at 144th floor. That is 3 times more expensive than this. This was $50 US. I think that's more than $150. So I couldn't really justify paying that for 20 stories more. But the Burj Khalifa itself is twice as high as this observatory. Like, I can't even see the top of it. I think we're at like 440 meters, and at the top is like 800 meters or something like that. So it's like, it goes crazy high, way up higher than this. But I don't think you can go up there. The top's just like towers or something like that. Bangali bhai ke pege si Burj Khalifa uparo sab jagay Bangladeshi. So to put this into context, this is like a bit over 400 meters. You've seen me do hikes in the Himalayas at Mardi Himal Base Camp, and then to Acatenango in Guatemala, and Manacan, Hawaii. All of those are over 4,000 meters. So this is like 10% of that height. But it's just different. It just looks very different because you're looking straight down at the streets below you. I think it's a little bit hazy today, so you can't really see too far. Usually I think you're supposed to see all the way till the ocean and see the palm, but maybe I'm facing the wrong way, I don't even know. But it's definitely hazy. You can see Sheikh Zayed Road, which is like the main road of Dubai, the famous one. And this is actually really cool. Like, I was like super sleepy and tired on the way here, and I like got up here and I completely forgot about everything. I was thinking about sleeping in yesterday, but I'm glad I decided to wake up really early and come really early because there's very little crowds right now and the lighting is so nice. I went to the One World Towers, which is like the replacement for the Twin Towers in New York, basically, at an observatory like that, and that was really cool too, but that didn't have like an outdoor segment like this, and that was, I think, like 90% the height of this observatory right here. I just realized I was looking for the ocean in the completely wrong direction. There is the ocean behind me that way, although it's still like not too clear. There's a bit of fog. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a picture of Dubai from like the early 90s, but it's crazy how far the city has come construction-wise since then, and like how fast it grew. Just that cluster of buildings over there is just insane. It was almost none of this was here 30 years ago. It's 7:57. I've been here for like almost an hour and it's still super empty. So maybe you don't have to come here at 7 a.m. to find the best spot. One important thing to note is that it is a Monday, so it's a weekday. I heard this gets a lot busier on the weekends for obvious reasons. After an hour, I can rate this experience. For me, I'd say this was like a solid 7 out of 10, maybe more, 7.5. It is pretty cool seeing anything from this high up, especially because it's like an outdoor observatory as opposed to an indoor one that I saw in the World Trade Center in New York, which is not that fun, honestly. Price-wise, I'd say this is maybe like also a 7 out of 10, because $50, all things considered, is not that bad. If it was way less than that, it would be so crowded, there'd be no space to stand. And this is Dubai, where you can spend a lot more on a lot worse shit. So I've been here for like 1 hour and 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna go one more story up.
Then I ordered a coffee, which wasn't too expensive. I think it was like $5.
What's your name, brother? Mahesh, bro. I slept for 1 hour. I need this coffee so bad.
I drank the coffee and it didn't taste too bad. And then I took the stairs up to the top floor.
From here you see the view of the deck from the top. Looks like the haze has cleared up a little bit more and you can see the ocean a little bit better over there. It's weird. I can see it better with my eyes than I can see it on the screen on the camera. So on the 120-foot floor, you basically see the exact same thing you saw from downstairs, but with air conditioning.
I took in that view for the last time before I went down, and then got on the same elevator back down again. And you go so fast, your ears get locked. The same way your ears get locked when you're landing on a flight.
So for the last spot in today's video, we're gonna go to the Burj Khalifa still behind me, but I had to completely go out through the Dubai Mall and come around and change my shirt to something more acceptable for this place, because this is a fancy place. This is why I got this shirt at the Dubai Mall. You know, I wasn't even sure if they were gonna let me in with my shoes, so I emailed them actually like a photo of my shoes. I'm like, is this okay? And they're like, okay, yeah, if you have a collared shirt and long pants and these shoes, you should be fine. And my shoes were like way dirtier than they looked like in that stock photo, so I like cleaned it up in the middle of the night to make it as presentable as possible. Let's see if it works out. Man, this place is so big. Unsurprisingly, there's like sports cars here. What is that, Lamborghini?
Then I went up more than 100 stories and was led to this gorgeous restaurant with an amazing view of the city.
Man, they have all these items on the menu here that I've literally never seen in my life. They gave me water from this really fancy bottle. Hope this is not gonna cost me like $100. Man, this view is insane though. The problem here is that I have to spend like 400 dirhams here to even like eat here. And I had to pay 100 dirhams just to make the reservation, so it's like more than $100. I'm here for the gold cappuccino my friend had. I don't see that on the menu. They gave me a different menu, and in this one, I do see the golden
cappuccino here. So the tricky thing here is that like all these items are weirdly priced. I can't get anything to like get exactly 400. I'm gonna have to go over to some math and figure out what's the lowest possible combination of the cappuccino. What is kopi luwak?
Kopi luwak is an Indonesian premium coffee.
Is this the golden cappuccino?
Yeah.
The kopi luwak? Okay, I'll have one of that. And I'll have a luwak tiramisu and a pistachio opera.
Okay.
What's your name?
Nalinda,
Nalinda. Where are you from?
Sri Lanka.
Where?
Sri Lanka.
Well, 2022 for 3 months. I was in like in the south, like Matara, like Hikadua, like Waligama, yeah, I was like surfing. But then I was in Kandy for like a few days. Yeah, in the south I was doing it. So you speak Sinhalese? Oh yeah, Stuti Machang. Nice to meet you, man. Okay, so I just met a gentleman from Sri Lanka, and he's from Kandy. I made a video from there like 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember. So like that's always nice when I meet people from Sri Lanka because I love that country so much. Gold cappuccino has arrived, and it comes with this like biscuit, I guess here. So this is the tiramisu. How am I supposed to eat this? Alright, so this is the tiramisu. I think this is like the Indonesian dish with like coffee flavored. I'm gonna eat the ice cream first before it melts. This ice cream even feels like a bit coffee flavored. I really don't know what this is. It's like, looks like a leaf, but surely not. Took off the lid and there's like this cream inside. It's interesting. This is delicious. This is so rich and creamy. Oh my god. Unbelievable taste. This is really good. In the lower levels, it's like more cake. And the top, it's more creamy. Let's break this up. Ooh. Opens up. Man, I forgot about my gold cappuccino, which is why I came here. So I had like a coffee. Instant coffee. Nescafe 3-in-1. For breakfast. And a peanut butter sandwich. Now I'm having like a gold-plated coffee. This is interesting. I think this is just a sugar biscuit that you can eat. Oh, no. That was really sticky. There's no taste. And the sugar still stuck to the back of my teeth. Honestly, this just tastes like a normal cappuccino with like a gold leaf. I don't know if it's supposed to taste like anything. How are you, bro? Bangladeshi niki? আচ্ছা কেমন আছেন? চিনছেন আমাকে দেখে নাকি? আচ্ছা thank you. Man, this sugar biscuit is so sticky. I can't even like touch my phone after that. It's like just the stickiness won't go away. It's like so sweet. Yeah, man, that was so cool that I met that guy from Bangladesh who was like a viewer of mine. He like watched all my videos. I was telling him I met the guy from Sri Lanka, and he's like, yeah, I watched your videos from Sri Lanka too. He was super nice. I basically asked him that, am I eating this right? Because this is not usually the kind of food that I eat. And he's like, yeah, man, don't worry, you're doing fine. You can do whatever you want. This coffee is getting cold. I waited way too long. Man, I just tried like, you know, eating some of the gold flakes just by themselves, and there's still no taste at all. Pistachios, it's crunchier than I expected. Still very sweet. Man, after eating so much chocolate, now this chocolate's feeling a bit excessive. And I still have like one more dessert item left. It's pretty good, but I definitely like the other one better. Probably I'm just not hungry anymore. Man, do I even want to finish this? I want to save space for the other one. So yeah, I can't waste anything. Paid too much for this. I think I did my part finishing the first two items. So this is ice cream and
Gonaya shoe and orange.
and this is pistachio.
This is the name on the pistachio opera.
Thank you. Suti Machang. Let's have the ice cream first. I like this. I'm so full from eating so much sugar. God, I made a mess. My mom's gonna be so mad when she sees this video and sees my table manners here. So next thing we're eating is this pistachio thing with the white chocolate, and then like they poured this dressing around it, which looked so good. Look at that. Anyway, this is just literally pistachios. You don't really taste anything else here. And this is actually really nice, and it's not too sweet, unlike everything I've been eating. This was a good choice. After all the sweet stuff, I'm glad I didn't get something that's like super sweet too. Honestly reminds me of baklava. Yeah, and that's the white chocolate. I want to say this is heavy still, but it's good. You can see a really clear view of the ocean right there, which was like super hazy earlier. So I was talking to Farhan Bhai, the Bangladeshi guy who works here, and he was telling me the minimum spend at the lounge, because this is like separated in two parts, atmosphere restaurant, atmosphere lounge, is much lower. That's like 250 dirham. I think that's like $70, something like that. This is 400 dirham, which is
more than $100, like $120, and I'm spending like 450 dirhams without tips, and so that's like close to 150, 140 or something like that. So if I had gone to the other place, I could have saved on this extra dessert that I can't eat anyways. So yeah, if I had known better, I would have done that. Because I can't even eat this. It feels so bad. Okay, I'm trying the last item here. I'm trying not to make a mess again. It's so chocolatey, I can't eat any more chocolate. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop, take a break, and go to the bathroom, go for a walk. Then maybe I can use this. This is the fanciest bathroom I've ever seen. Look at that view when you're taking a shit. As I suspected, that bottle of water cost like $15. So Faranbai is giving me a tour of the lounge area, which would have been cheaper to eat. And you can see the Burj Al Arab kind of in the distance, but it's so hazy you can't really see it properly. Wow, someone's playing the violin live here.
So I left the restaurant, came down that same elevator again with my ears locking again because of the drastic elevation change.
I do not belong in a place that fancy, honestly. That felt weird. People that I was seeing were not the people I'm used to seeing at hostels, but that was a good meal. And I'd rate the experience itself, completely ignoring how much it cost, like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 experience. A pretty nice view, and the food was pretty great. Honestly, I'll give that like a 8.5 out of 10. The cappuccino was very overrated. It was just like it was really just a normal cappuccino. The rest of the dessert was kind of good actually. And the price-wise, I'd say that's like a 1 out of 10. Maybe 2, because the dessert was great. Nothing special here that you can't really get, at least in my perspective, that I couldn't have gotten in a lot of other places for like a lot less than what I just paid. And this thing cost 550 dirhams at the end of the day, with tips. I think it was like 500 dirhams without tips, which I think is like $150, which is a lot, man. Honestly, yeah, you could spend way more eating out in Venice or something like that, but it's still a lot, like a lot. But honestly, like considering how fancy that was, I bet like you could splurge a lot more, just get a fancy bottle of wine and that would be $1,000. And with my last view, the Burj Khalifa, I think I'm gonna end this video, head out of Dubai probably very soon. So if you like this video, do let me know in the comments and I can try to make something more like this. I had to be really creative, you know, like I got that sponsored thing for the scuba diving thing. I was like, what title can I pick to like package that into something that's interesting, and I had to come up with all the other things you can do in Dubai that you can't do anywhere else, and this was the outcome. And I think I enjoyed making it, but it's like a lot of work behind one video. It's a lot of work. Holy crap, man. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more videos like this. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at Nadir on the go if you want real-time travel updates. I'll catch you guys in the next video from probably another country, because I think I'm going to another country and I'm gonna book a flight tonight.
I'm gonna finish this video off with a quick announcement. For those of you that are not aware, a lot of you that have been following my channel for a long time, from like 2017, you've probably seen my mom in a lot of my videos, and she was my favorite person and really the most important person to me. So she passed away 40 days ago as of when I'm filming this. That's why I haven't been posting videos for a while, basically. It's just been hard to film stuff, you know? But thankfully I've had... yeah, I don't know where to start, honestly. Like, I've had a really good support system back home, thankfully, with the rest of my family, but I think this stuff this is gonna take a lot of time to heal properly. And for me to get to a place where I can be out, you know, scripting and vlogging and doing all that stuff. But thankfully, I filmed a lot of videos, including this one before she passed, before mid-May. But anyways, I just wanted to make that announcement for all the viewers that were not aware of it. I'll see you guys in the next video.